The Socceroos have absolutely captured the nation. I didn't think I'd be making this video coming out of the World Cup, given my thoughts and feedback on the Socceroos over the last 2 years of making content, but who would have thought we'd be in this position going into a round of 16 match against Argentina as well, who are one of the big favourites, and we've absolutely pushed them as far as possible. Going back through the group, I mentioned on many podcasts that I said that we'd probably struggle to score a goal, let alone get out of our group, and we've managed to score in every single game. I think we scored one across the board practically, but anyway, it is what it is. But this team has just absolutely finally created an identity, I think, that a lot of Australians are able to connect with. And if you're not watching from Australia, then this video might not be as interesting for you, but stick around because there's a lot of exciting things happening in Australian football. Now, we've spoken at length about the state of football in the country, but when you look at the national team, there's no names on that team anymore that you go, and they're recognisable from an international level. You're looking at a lot of guys that have come through the A-League who are playing, you know, in Japan and through Asia, but they've managed to see a real cohesion with the team. It's made people in Australia that aren't connected with soccer or connected with football want to get up and watch games at whatever time, at 5 o'clock in the morning, at 2 o'clock in the morning, because they feel that sense of connection. Being able to see the work rate in that team, Aaron Moy, Jackson Irvine, Hurstich, McGree running the midfield. Harry Souttar's become an absolute cult hero at the back. Matty Ryan, although not playing at the moment in Copenhagen, still leading from the back. And then you look out front, you see Craig Goodwin, you see Lecky, you see Duke, and they're putting in 110%. That's all we ask for as a country like Australia. We mentioned this after the France game, the first game of our group, and we went 1-0 up, and then recognised that we're probably trying to play too much out of the back and trying to play from the curriculum. And I've got to give Graham Arnold some credit here as well. He's managed to identify that this team can't play that way all the time. We managed to play 4-3-3 throughout the whole group, but then when we know we've come up against a team of the quality of Argentina, he was actually adapted that team. And when I woke up for that game, I was thinking, all right, what's the team going to look like? And I've seen us line up in a 4-4-1-1 and look, you know, defensively solid, and albeit a Messi brilliant goal and a Matt Ryan mistake, we looked very solid defensively. And I think Argentina really only missed 1 or 2 chances, but I really liked where this team's going. We've got some real good youth coming in, you know, whether it's through Garan Qual and a few other young guys that are coming in that are getting minutes in the team. I think defensively there's still issues there. If we can have Harry Souttar fit more often than not, then he's going to lead that defence. The midfield has a lot of experience in it, which is really good to see, to be fair, with that Jackson Irvine, Aaron Moy sort of running that. We've lost a lot of that in Tom Rogic, and I think Aaron Moy did a pretty good job in replacing that creativity in the midfield. We've got Riley McGree, who got better as the tournament went on as well. He looked quite good in a different role against Argentina, but my big issue was up front. And although we did manage to score 4 goals at this tournament, goals was still an issue. So a lot of those goals came via the wings, which is fine, but Australia have really struggled really since 2014 to be able to find multiple goals in games, and that's really since Tim Cahill has fallen away out of the national team. We really are lacking a really prolific striker. We've seen Jamie McLaren at a few tournaments now and really not be able to get himself involved. Mitch Duke, I like the work ethic that he brings to the team, but I feel like he needs someone up there with him. So moving forward, I think Lecky could be that option to play off of another striker, whether it's Duke and Lecky together. I think they could cause a lot of problems for a lot of teams. I think Craig Goodwin needs to be starting on that left wing for us, and then it's going to be a combination of Owen Mabil. It could be Garan Qual, and there's a few other players kicking about in the A-League that could do the job on the right wing. But I think we're at that point where we need to start seeing a bit more dynamism up front and trying to see if we can find a striker, because Jason Cummings doesn't look like he's the product either. So I think the big thing we need to focus on here in Australia is developing a striker. But ahead of the Asian Cup coming up next year, and if you're Australian, you should be very, very excited to see what we can do. Once again, guys, sorry that there hasn't been heaps of videos. I'm going to keep this one short. I could go into heaps of detail. I'm sure there's going to be a podcast coming out relatively soon around this. If you enjoy these type of videos unpacking certain events, please let me know by liking and commenting and sharing the video around. And if you do, make sure you subscribe as well. And I'll see you guys very, very soon for another video.